Ed Porter, Energy Services.
Don Kelly, Engineering.
Crystal Panico, Water Resources.
Kevin Regoli, the City of Monroe Fire Department.
Tom Brown, Building Standards.
Catherine Mullis with permitting.
Ron Pantuso with Penix, general contract.
Okay. The first project we'll do is the 2319 West Roosevelt, and this is going to be for the Shell building. And there's 3 separate permits, but we're just going to do them all together because the comments are going to be all the same on all of them. And so we'll just go through. I'll just do the building A. First, staff disapproved it. They needed a lighting plan to be submitted for staff review, and it talks about as far as lighting requirements and the needing a foot candle plan. And then as far as it talked about as far as internal pedestrian walkways, and they had some comments about the elevations. And one thing about the landscaping too with it though, as far as I know when y'all submitted the erosion control permit, you had the overall landscaping for the whole entire project. We're going to need to see a landscape plan with each one because I know you're doing also a minor subdivision for the project too, because I know the Bojangles will be on a parcel and then the other 2 parcels. So you need to have a landscaping with each building you're submitting rather than having, because I know you're not going to start a landscape all at one time for the whole entire project, I'm assuming. Yes, Kevin.
Comment.
Yes.
I know I'll talk to staff about this, but it doesn't say that on the building application form, so just about including that with the building permit. A lot of these comments are coming up, I think, because they didn't include, this one looks like they did, like Bojangles didn't include all of our plans with their buildings, so
Right.
they just gave like the site plan. So
Yes.
maybe just making that more clear on the building
Okay.
application form.
We updated the website to where it specifically states no.
That's where some of these, well, I know Bojangles, they didn't include any of that stuff, and so.
Yeah.
I got one other question.
Okay.
We know that Bojangles going over to the right, okay, but the other partial, there's, it may be years before something goes in there, so what do we want to do with that?
And that's fine. I'm not expecting you to do anything on that parcel as far as landscaping goes, but what I want to see is a landscape plan for each parcel that's submitted.
Tied to the CO, so like.
Yes, tied to the CO for that building.
We just, it was in here, it'll be in the resale of the Bojangles, but that's any plan.
Yeah, but I'm not asking you to do anything on that future site because obviously you don't have a user in mind.
Right, okay, yeah, there you
Okay, that was all plans comments. So, but we did disapprove it. The next department was engineering.
We approved the erosion control plan. I think it was dated 7/17.
Okay.
It's just on hold because all the other departments haven't approved.
Right.
Erosion control permit.
Okay. The next department was the fire department.
I'll need to see the comments for permit number 202 because there are three separate permits, 3 separate buildings. Do you have that with you by chance?
Yeah, let's look.
Well, there's 3 permits, but there's not 3 separate buildings.
Well, the way our permit's laid out, it's all one building, but you have the shell upfits.
Yes, sir.
And those comments are going to be generic. And the life safety plans, they're approved. I realize it's a shell building. The duct detector notifications that are going to be installed, we'll determine those locations when we get your upfit folks in there, not knowing what their layouts are going to be. So that you don't have a fire alarm system, they've got to be an approved location that's constantly attended. So where you're showing to put them now, that'll be fine. But we may need to move them with the tenant upfits. The fire rated separation, we need that labeled per code between the tenant spaces when the shell upfit is when the shell is complete.
Okay. Next was water resources.
All mine are just standard comments. Basically, all mine is relating back to the site work to be done, water main extensions, sewer main extensions, grease trap installation. Basically, I've just put these on these permits as well so you know that this is required, but it's for the site work. This isn't going to hold up these permits.
And then next was the electric division.
It's approved.
And then building standards.
Hold for a little bit. Make sure the appendix B's are reproduced on a single sheet, as it says right under the title page. What else do we have? Sheet S3, please provide the connection details for the L6 by 4 by 5 16-inch continuous weight distribution angle. It's in the details. It's at the top track of your wall on the back wall.
Yeah.
There's no connection detail of how that all works.
Maybe you can show it to me later on. Okay.
Pardon me?
If you can show me exactly what we're talking.
Yeah, how are they going to attach the bar joists to that? How is that going to be attached to the track? Since that's a bearing wall in the back. Also, there is a number 2. On the Appendix B, it's listed for the structural frame type as a bearing wall. I think it's probably a combination because you have a structural frame and the bearing wall. If you just mark that in there, because this is permanent record. Sheet E2, your electrical, provide service ground details. Make sure it includes your building steel, your structural steel, and also your foundational steel. Rebar system has to be tied into that as well. And I gave you the electrical code sections for that. And get me some roof drain calculations if you might.
And then lastly was gas.
Gas is approved, no comments.
And just state, I don't know what I got.
Okay, let me just move on.
Yeah. I know the erosion control has still not been signed off by everybody, nor has the demolition. So once all those are signed off too, at that point in time, we wouldn't issue the building permit for the building until all that's signed off by every department. And so I'll entertain, do you have any more questions about the comments you received today?
Well, I do have a question about the erosion control. What's the hold up on that being signed off? That's been a while.
I'd have to look,
I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, she might
Fire
have
was
approved it,
okay
but
with
there's
it.
still,
I mean, we
there's
talked-
still
It's
6
not
other
signed off
departments
unless
after
they're-
Yeah, I
her.
thought
so.
everybody though, I think she's the only one that had the outstanding comments. I think, so I don't-
I guess check with Kathy after this because I know the other day there was still I thought there were some people that had not signed off on it yet though. I don't know.
And
Just follow up on that.
the demo permit, like when can they get that approved?
We'll have to look
I
at
guess
that as well,
What
yeah.
they'd like to do is obviously start on the demolition work ahead of everything else, so they can free that up while I take care of the building comments.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look, I don't know.
I just know the other day that everybody had not signed off on the demo for sure. So, but obviously, we wouldn't approve this till all that stuff was
Yeah, I
signed
know
off.
the building permit was tied, you couldn't issue this until the demo was taken.
Correct. So, with that being said though, does this need to come back to TRC for me based on?
No,
No.
Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion to be approved contingent upon the comments being addressed.
I make a motion.
All right, motion. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all right, good deal.
If y'all are free to leave unless y'all,
Yeah, I'm fine with everything said. I just got a question on, and maybe someone can talk to me later on about, doing the erosion control, putting in a temporary septic basin, and then, Bojangles comes in, when can we tie that over to permanent and get that space for the paving? What is the process there?
You can speak with Don Kelly, with the engineer,
There's some argument.
or Tanya, one of the two.
There, the only time the temporary sediment track can come out or be converted over is when everything else is permanently stabilized. And once that point is reached, then you can consider switching it over into I'm assuming a BMP, is that what you're talking about?
No, it's just, on the front corner, they'll have to work around kind of leave that there. I think where we work it out is that pipe coming into it, daylight into the basement temporarily.
Yeah. What?
If you continue to pave and stabilize the rest of the site, he's gonna have to stay out of the corner.
Right.
So most of that's done, and then you can fill in that line.
Yeah, once the site is permanently stabilized, you can take those temporary.
Such as grass.
Yeah, the inspector will help you determine that. He's got some paperwork you have to
We
do and
work
all
with
that.
him on that then.
Yeah.
That's still James.
No, that'll be Chad.
There's some forms.
I did some stuff.
Okay.
I did the Park Sterling and Indian Trail right there, and we had to do some of that.
Now, you have to, you'll have to have everything erosion control in place before you do any demo work as well. Okay?
But the building, just I think the first thing is the structure.
Yeah.
Everything else is paved, so they might have minimal stuff until they start ripping out asphalt. But we just have to coordinate that with the inspector out there.
Be putting it in as we're, before we tear out some of the asphalt.
Yeah, you just have to have your erosion control measures in place first before you do any demo work.
When we get someone to coordinate that with.
Yeah.
We'll talk to the email server.
You check with Jessica, I gotta say in here, that if that's all you have here, you're free to go back and speak to Jessica and ask her about that, but demolition, that would option table for that.
So if we resubmit, because Bojangles will be bringing the building back in, like they've got their building comments about the rest. And I know there's the issue there where they include really the additional plans they should have for us. So we're gonna have all that in there, and so a lot of these will go, I guess we'll just resubmit the same plans with the building comment, but, like the lighting plan we have right now, all that stuff, so hopefully you Bojangles essentially take care of these, it's just an FYI. If you hear anything about it,
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
The next project will be the temporary use permit for the fireworks display at the J.C. Park, and this is part of the Lee Park event they do annually. Plan department did some standard comments. Next was engineering.
Approved.
Fire.
We've approved it, and we got verification from Parks and Recs that they have the site reserved.
Okay. And looks like police also approved it. So everybody that had anything to do with it approved it, so I'll entertain a motion that be approved.
I'll make a motion.
All right, motion by Tom, second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's all for today, folks. Thank you very much.
Let me go follow in there. Sure that
Catherine,
I don't have ERC or anything.
if I haven't signed off, it
Did
should
you?
be signed off on our end. But just double
I thought so.
check.
I was kind of mumbling.
For the demo or the